I believe that an early childhood teacher needs to build strong, positive relationships with the children in their care in order to build trust and gain an individual understanding of each child and how they learn. Building positive relationships with children allow us as educators to engage in learning and support children to have increased cognitive play. Nurturing and responsive relationships support children to regulate their emotions, feel safe and secure in their environment, and allow children to learn to the best of their abilities while also having fun, engaging in humour and enjoyment with peers and educators. While developing individual relationships and understandings of each child is important, I understand the value of having a community approach to early childhood education and an understanding of the various cultural contexts children face in their day-to-day lives. Loris Malaguzzi's understanding of partnerships focus on children working in small groups or pairs, building their social skills while acting as co-learners with one another, as well as teachers and families. I see children as competent and have an innate ability to assess risk and explore their environment. Exploring their environment promotes children to investigate, experiment, and inquire, taking lead in their own learning. The Reggio Emilia approach supports this with project-based curriculum using children's interests to guide intentional teaching, encompassing many learning outcomes and areas under the umbrella of one idea. The first step in my practice is always relationship building. I spend the first period of time getting to know the children, their interests, friendship groups, needs, and learning styles. I try to ensure an understanding of additional needs and make sure that there are strategies in place for working with children who may need additional support in order to participate in the group program. For example, these may be using visuals to support routine participation, breathing and mindfulness exercises, tone of voice such as dancing talk as opposed to business talk, fidgets, weighted lap blankets or wobble pillows for mat time, social stories, sensory play. An emergent curriculum helps children to have a sense of ownership over the program, as we plan provocations which extend on their interest and continues to look at particular themes which are decided by the group. Once I have built relationships with the children, I would explore alongside the children in order to try to discover an interest or exploration topic in order to develop a project curriculum. I would access the Victorian Early Years Learning Framework to ensure that the project is linked to each outcome and has meaningful learning identified. Together with the children, we would develop a research question or hypothesis, which we can then further investigate and learn more about the topic. Throughout the research process, I would document wow moments and the different ways the children have interacted with the provocations. At the end, I would find a way to present the findings of the research to children and families. This may be an art display, a photo or video presentation, a DIY book, etc. I would include children's voice and encourage engagement in the documentation process, working together with the children using floor books, which allow children to be involved and take ownership of their learning. An example of a hypothetical provocation. I notice a group of children are extremely engaged and interested in construction. They work together to create large buildings, adding many different elements and materials. I document this in a learning story and decide to build on this interest in a project. I read the learning story to the group and ask the children to add their own thoughts on their learning. Together we talk about what it is we want to learn when looking at construction and come up with the question, how do buildings get built in real life? We would then brainstorm ideas, research in books or on the internet to discover more. This topic has many areas we could expand on, including architecture and design, looking at floor plans, discussions about what houses have to have in them, for example, bedrooms, toilets and kitchens, construction machinery and builders, safety, high-vis clothing and hard hats, different machinery and what they do, cranes, excavators, cement mixers, trades such as carpenters, electricians and plumbers. This could lead to discussions about occupations and jobs. Comparing different buildings such as houses and versus kinder, skyscrapers, supermarkets, etc. Comparing the characteristics of different types of buildings. Talking about our own houses, bringing in photos of where we live. Here is an article which I would like to share. Chun, Herzog, Gaffney and Diamond explain the project approach in a straightforward way while also discussing service of others and learning about caring for peers and members of the community, building empathy, and etc. I found it interesting to see how projects can be implemented in a variety of different ways. Thank you.